What's up guys, it's Azarin here, and CO's eyebrows are thicker than the jungles of the Amazon, but you already know both those things. So, I'm bringing you Week 1 coverage of the ULC6, the United League Championship, or whatever you want to call it. So, this is Asylum, my old league. They're playing, they brought back some members. I'm playing for a hat, of course, but this was hilarious, honestly. So, Asylum is back, and they're facing Vox, and this is the first match. It's a best of 5 LVL. So, our first match here is RC versus Breeze C. Breeze C brought Ice, and RC brought Standard Fairy. And so, like, Magirna 6-0s. Like, that's about it. That's all I can tell you. But RC goes into Clef here, as Breeze goes into Mamoswine. He goes into Ninetales, as Clef gets the rocks up. Ninetales goes for the Auroraville, as RC goes for the Flamethrower. He's going to switch out into his Piloswine, and Flamethrower is going to do a juicy 6% to that thick fat. So Moonblast is doing more at 9% as Piloswine gets up the rocks. Clef is just going to spam Moonblast here, it seems, which is the right play because Piloswine isn't actually doing any damage to this Clefable. Literally, 29% is nothing. He's going to Soft Boil here, EQ here. He's going to Moonblast here, do some more chip to the Piloswine, Earthquake, and now he can just recover up here. And at Breeze, he's going to go to Ninetales, either to get the Auroraville up, but no, he makes a good play and clicks Encore onto the Clefable, so now he can get some initiative at least. So into Togekiss, RC goes, as Ninetales goes for the Auroraville. I think he's probably just going to try to flinch this thing down. He gets one flinch. He gets another flinch. And Ninetales goes for the Freeze Dry, and freezes the Togekiss. And now he goes straight into his Mamoswine here, as Togekiss is frozen solid. As Mamoswine goes for the Knock Off. So you run Knock Off on like Scarf, I guess. So maybe RC knew that, but I mean this is dangerous if he Icicle Crashed and bopped this Bulu. Unless this Bulu was Scarf, of course. So now he makes a double into Magirna, which is Balloon. So the Avalon could choose to Rapid Spin or get Whittled. Boom. He decides to Gyro Ball of all things. No Rapid Spin, which made no sense to me. Like, so now this Magirna is at +1, and now into Mamoswine we go. So RC's gonna sack the Bulu because Breeze C goes for a good predict and goes for the Icicle Crash, but apparently RC knew what he was doing, and this is Trick Room Magirna. So he sets up the Trick Room here. Gets a Soul Heart boost, and that's game. Literally, nothing takes a Flash Cannon from this Magirna. Bop, dead, and just a forfeit. So, Asylum's up 1-0 so far. Now we move on to game 2, which is Bunny for Asylum versus Karma for for Vox. So Karma is running Poison but with a Scolipede, so that's interesting. And Bunny's running this weird like team with Magnezone on it. So he leads off with the Magnezone as Karma goes into the Crobat. He goes for the Flash Cannon. I mean, Karma could have lost his Crobat there turn 1, but then again, not many people run Scarf Mag on Steel, so Bunny's going to switch out into a Celesteela here as Karma makes the double into Nidoking. Goes for the Ice Beam. I can understand that Ice Beam play instead of the Fire Blast because a lot of Heatrans in this meta are Balloon Trans, so Fire Blast would not break the Balloon. Earth Power wouldn't break the Balloon, so I can understand the Ice Beam play. Like, I can resonate with him on that one, even though Fire Blast was the play to chip the Celesteela down. But it works out for Bunny, as now he's going to be able to 2-hit KO, possibly, the Nidoking. But Karma switches it into Toxapex, as Bunny just protects stalling to get some HP back. And now into Heatran he goes here. He goes for the Scald, does 20%. And we can see it's Spadef Heatran, not as common these days. He goes for the Lava Plume here. I don't know why he didn't go for the Earth Power. He goes for the Scald. Karma's just whittling down this Heatran. Here goes for the Earth Power here on the Toxapex, as this thing goes for the Scald. And looks like the Toxapex is in range, so he's going to switch out into Muck. As Bunny makes a good play, tries to go for the burn with that. And Karma makes a good play, pursues the Heatran, into the switch in, which is Scizor. Now, Mucks nowadays run Fire Blast, and Bunny should have definitely scouted for the Fire Blast here on the Scizor, because, like, other than that, Ferrothorn and Magearna wall Muck to hell, so Fire Blast is a good option on this thing. So Scizor goes for the knockoff to knock off the Muck's AV, and boom, Fire Blast comes out, does 75%. Bunny goes for the Roost like a king, and Karma hits a second Fire Blast like a king. Bunny stays going for the Roost, he doesn't give a fuck, and he sacks his Scizor to 3 Fire Blasts. Now he brings an Excadrill here, and Toxapex is the switch in, as he goes for the Earthquake. And now he's going to go into Crobat, and Bunny goes for the Iron Head, so that's non-choice Excadrill, interesting. As Crobat goes straight for the U-turn into the Venusaur, as Excadrill goes for the Quake. Venusaur is going to Mega Evolve, and Excadrill is going to go for Rocks. And this Venusaur's Leech Seed. This is going to be a big problem to Bunny's team, because Scizor could have actually helped here. Leech Seed's up on the Magearna. Bunny switches out into Heatran, as Muck is the switch in. Now, fearing the pursuit, I guess he stays into Earth Power, and he knocks off. But now this thing is Spadef and can burn the Venu. This thing would have probably helped versus the Venusaur, because I'm sure this thing has Taunt too. So the Crobat goes for the Defog here, as Heatran goes for the Earth Power, predicting the Roost. So Bunny's getting outplayed right now. He gets a crit on the U-turn, honestly. And into Nidoking we go. Into Excadrill Bunny goes. And I think Bunny has a free Iron Head. Yep, he has a free Iron Head. Boom. So now Karma sacked his Ground Resist in Excadrill. So now Bunny's going to switch out on the scary Scolipede, as Karma just goes straight for the Earthquake, the safe play. So into Venu he goes. Heavy Slam is doing 25%, which is not enough, and especially since this thing is Leech Seed, this is going to be a big problem, as he goes for the Leech Seed here. He goes for the Leech Seed, as Celesteela goes for the Heavy Slam. Bunny's going to switch out into Magearna, as Karma predicts that nicely and goes for another Leech Seed. Magearna goes for the Ice Beam here, and it seems like that's his move to touch him with. So he might have like Bolt Beam Fairy, or something like that. And now this Venu has HP Fire as well, so it's missing either a Grass or a Poison coverage move. So this is going to be a problem, actually. Magna's going for this Flash Cannon and does 34%, which is actually a lot. And now Bunny's going to switch into Excadrill here, predicting the Synthesis. So I think Bunny's best play, as he decided, was to just flinch this thing to death, as this thing goes for the Leech Seed, so I don't think flinching to death is going to help. And he recognizes that, and he goes into Celesteela. HP Fire comes out, able to chip down Celesteela a bit. Bunny's going to stall out a bit with HP Fires. Bunny's going to switch out into Excadrill, as Karma goes for the Leech Seed. So this Venusaur is just like walling Bunny's team to hell. Now Bunny gets up the Rocks here, probably to chip in the Toxapex on the switch. So now he's going to switch back out into Magearna. I think he's going to sack this. So this is non-poison Venusaur. Magearna goes for his Z move, which is Fairy. So it is Bolt Beam Fairy, as this thing goes for the Giga Drain. And down goes the Magearna. Now into Excadrill we go. Now it's Flinch City time. 24% Giga Drain. He should have Leech Seeded there, honestly. That was Karma's choke, I think. But he might have thought it knocked him out. He goes for the Iron Head here. Got a flinch. Iron Head here. He goes for the Synthesis. But now that gives Bunny another opportunity. Iron Head here. He gets a flinch. Iron Head here. Does he get the flinch? He gets the second flinch. And now this Venusaur is in range of Earthquake. And now he's just going to sack his Nidoking here. Boom, down goes the Nidoking. And now into Scolipede we go. So, Karma probably is going to double here on the Venu. No, he should have doubled, because then he could have recovered on the Celesteela. But unfortunately he does not, so Karma's going to sack the Toxapex here. Heavy Slam comes out. Takes some Rocky Helmet damage. And Toxapex is going to be knocked out. No, he's going to go straight into Magnezone here, as this thing goes for the Scald. No burn. No burn. So that's smart on Bunny's part, because then it prevents the it prevented the Venusaur from coming in and recovering. So, and then Karma goes into Scolipede here. He goes into Scolipede, Alright, so he Scalds here. He's gonna knock him out with... So now he goes into Scaldpeed here. And he goes for the Flash Cannon just straight up. And that's game. Because Bunny's gonna Flash Cannon this thing, and that's a GG. A 3-0 in Bunny's favor. But Bunny probably did not deserve to win that game, because Karma played him pretty well. So we'll move on to Game 3. Game 3 is Phantom the Ghost. That's an old member of Asylum too. She was a ground main in the old days. And then we have Tide here. Tide rocking water. Maybe he knew that? I don't know. And Phantom here is rocking the flying team, which looks like the standard flying team. So into Zapdos we go. Gastrodon comes out. Zapdos is gonna go for the sub Toxic, and at that point it's a GG. The sub Toxic Zapdos is just gonna throttle Tide's team. As you can see, it's honestly just gonna throttle him. Gyarados, no avail. Keldeo, like Icy Winds there. Dude does some damage, so now he can just go back into Mantine. Phantom can go back into Mantine, as Tide does not make the double. And now he's gonna go to Empoleon here, as Phantom makes a Dawn play here and goes back into Zapdos on the switch in. Zapdos is gonna go for the sub. Empoleon goes for the Scald. Does not break the sub. Zapdos is gonna go for the Discharge. Gets a crit para. Full para? No full para. So Empoleon's gonna get the Scald off and able to break that sub of the Zapdos. Now into Keldeo we go, as Zapdos goes straight for the sub. Keldeo goes for the Icy Wind here, as Zapdos goes for the Discharge. Gets a crit on the Keldeo, so it's like to add insult to injury. Like, he's getting hacks on hacks. So now Phantom goes into Sharpedo or whatever. And, oh shit, I'm losing myself here. He's gonna switch out into Zapdos as he goes into Empoleon. And where am I? Phantom goes for the sub, as Empoleon gets the rocks up, I guess. And Zapdos is going to go for the Discharge here. If this thing on the full para was Roar, then that really sucks. So that would have given Tide an opportunity to still win. But unfortunately not. This Zapdos is just going to wall Tide's team to hell and back. He's going to put Earth Power. Good play predicting the Roost. But now Zapdos can just sub again. So it's not a big deal. He's going to continuously spam Discharge until the Gastro wants to switch out. He's going to Discharge on the Toxapex. Does 54%. He's going to sub up. He's going to Roost up. Sub up. Discharge. Whittle. Boom. Ice Fang through the sub is not good enough. Sharpedo gets knocked out. And that's a 6-0 by Phantom there. So Asylum is able to take it 3-0 in the first week, to everybody's surprise. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys for more ULC coverage. Peace.